With no serious competition opening at the box office, Solo has officially collapsed with a catastrophic -68% drop in its second weekend. After grossing a measly, we are talking about a Star Wars movie here, $82 million in its debut weekend, Solo bottomed out in week 2 with just $28 million. How bad is that? Oh my. In its second weekend, The Force Awakens was grossing $50 million a day. The Last Jedi grossed $70 million. Rogue One grossed $55 million. In worse news, Solo is by far the most expensive Star Wars movie produced yet, with a reported price tag of $250 million. Add another $150 million for publicity, and we are talking about a $900 million worldwide break-even point. After The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and The Last Jedi grossed a domestic $936 million, $532 million, and $620 million, respectively. Solo will probably skid to a stop before it reaches $230 million. The news is just as bad at the international box office, where Solo has only added $82 million, despite opening everywhere. Solo is going to lose a fortune. A Star Wars movie is going to lose a fortune. And our hopelessly corrupt entertainment media refuse to say why. Despite the fact that Marvel releases a blockbuster hit 2 and 3 times a year, we are being told there is a thing called Star Wars fatigue because Solo was released a full 5 months after The Last Jedi. This, despite the fact that the latest Avengers movie opened just 9 weeks after Black Panther, and both are breaking box office records everywhere. We are told the box office was too crowded the weekend Solo opened. Well, Solo pretty much has this weekend all to itself, and still, no one came. And a Star Wars movie is supposed to be the one that knocks, not the one knocked out. How desperate are the entertainment media to cover up the fact that Kathleen Kennedy's obnoxious, story-killing, left-wing politics are killing Star Wars? Over at the far-left Washington Post, Steven Zaitchik, who is actually paid money to analyze the box office, blamed it on Try Not to Laugh, a late spring release date, the fact Solo is a spin-off, yes, Star Wars fatigue. Avoid spin-offs? You mean like Marvel? Marvel has more spin-offs than Law and Order and can't stop breaking box office records. Avoid late spring? Can someone please get this genius access to what we hicks in the South like to call the Google? Deadpool 2 opened the week before Solo and has already grossed $231 million. Wonder Woman opened even later in the spring of 2017, June 2nd, and grossed $412 million. And here is a list of the movies that opened on the very same Memorial Day weekend as Solo, with their final domestic gross. Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End, $309 million. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, $319 million. Oh my, look. A Star Wars movie released over Memorial Day. Return of the Jedi, $252 million unadjusted for inflation, $861 million adjusted. As far as I know, and I have given it a good faith perusal, no one, not a single member of the establishment media, even as commenters fill their sites with complaints about how the infusion of Kennedy's obnoxious politics have ruined the franchise for countless fans, has shown the moral courage to even raise the idea that this might, maybe, could conceivably, possibly, be, perhaps, part of the perchance problem. This cowardice is a sign, not only of how useless the entertainment media are, but how owned they are by big corporations, how cowardly they are who do not even have the integrity to tell a truth, to report the truth about Ms. Kathleen's disastrous arrogance, her bubbled provincialism, her strident scolding and preaching, and all at the expense of story logic and what the fans hold most dear, and how it is murdering the most iconic film franchise in history. Kennedy is a literal book burner when it comes to Star Wars, and to protect their access and their own delusional need to never acknowledge that left-wing politics equals box office death, these moral cowards are intentionally ignoring one of the biggest entertainment stories of the year.